And well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here to beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, here at Peter Dran Memorial Stadium. Tom Check here. Thank you for joining us on your Friday late afternoon, wherever you're watching. Mount West matchup between UNLV and Air Force at the home of UNLV. The Rebels looking to get something going. It's been a rough year for UNLV. 3-9 on the year, 0-4 in conference play, 1-3 at home this year. They face an Air Force team that is 7-3-1, 2-2 on the year. UNLV led by head coach Chris Shaw in his 5th year. 61-44-8 is his record, and trying to get UNLV back to their winning ways. Just 3 wins on the years for the Rebels. They won their first 2 out of 3 games, but since then just 1 win and 8 losses, including a 5-game losing streak. Rebels had 4 games in a row that they were unable to score. They finally got into the net the last game against New Mexico, but they dropped that one on the road, 3-2. 3 straight road games for the Rebels after they started conference play here at home against Utah State. It was a 1-0 loss. They lost on the road to Boise State 2-0. San Diego State 1-0. This weekend they'll be playing Air Force here at home and then Colorado College on Sunday. And for the Air Force Falcons, they've had a great start to the year so far. 7-3-1, 2-2 in conference play. Their last game was a 1-0 loss to Colorado State. So far in conference play, they've had a 1-0 win against Fresno State, a 2-1 loss to San Jose State, 3-2 win over Wyoming, and as we just mentioned, that loss to Colorado State. Falcons will be on the road this weekend here in Vegas and then up in Reno on Sunday against UNR. For UNLV, their starters, Emberly Sevilla in the goalkeeper area for UNLV, Katie Ballou, Mckenna Sullivan, Paige Almendares, Darian Gambetta, Jaden Noguez, Alyssa Granados, Malika Markham, Michaela Morris, Samantha Bailey, and Izzy Perez are the starters for UNLV as they go up against an Air Force Falcons team that has outscored opponents 21-12 on the year. UNLV's got to find some scoring. They have really struggled in that department. Only 8 goals compared to the opponent's 28 as we are underway here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Road Blues for the Falcons. Home whites for UNLV. Rebels 0-4 in conference play. That is currently last in the Mountain West. Boise State leads the way 3-1. UNLV had a tough defeat to Boise State 2-0. The Rebels really hung in there. The defense has been there this year for UNLV, and as of recently in these Mountain West games, it's just the big thing is just trying to find that offensive spark. They were able to get it against New Mexico. Jaden Noguez and Katie Ballou got the goals for UNLV, but the Rebels gave up 3 goals. 3 in the first half. And Emberly Sevilla was able to shut out New Mexico in the second, but unable to get the win for UNLV as Izzy Perez, she'll fire off a shot, but is deflected in the box and is going to be headed back out over to Paige Almendares, the captain here for UNLV. She'll fire off a lead pass, but is going to be defended by the goalkeeper for Air Force. That is number zero, Danielle Katz, Jr. And she will fire this one across the midfield line here. Before the Falcons, they have scored a lot of goals this year, 21 goals off 168 attempts. They get about 1.91 goals per game while only giving up about 1 goal a game. 12 goals given up so far this year. Shot percentage at .429, 72 out of 168. They got about 15 shots per game while limiting opponents to just around 9 to 10 on the year. We'll see if UNLV can find their rhythm offensively. Already had a shot attempt, but it was deflected. UNLV leads this series 17-6-1. 17 wins, 6 losses, and 1 tie. So the Rebels obviously have had the Falcons' number. Hopefully they can come away with their first win in conference play as the Falcons now will attack here on the right-hand side. Paige Almendares looking to defend. A cross attempt, nobody is there. Cleared out. Jaden Noguez had her foot on it, but is turned over. Now Air Force has an opportunity here. They're in the box. They've got some separation here. Shot attempted is going to go over the net and out of play. That was Lexi Romero who missed that shot attempt, and she is the go-to player, the player that UNLV has to stop today on this Air Force team. 9 goals, 3 assists, 21 points. She has 9 of the 21 goals for this Air Force team this year. 4 game-winning kicks. As Emberly Sevilla, a sophomore from Las Vegas, Nevada, will boot this one, and it's headed back on over to Michaela Morris. Good to see Michaela back as she has dealt a little bit of an ankle injury she suffered against NAU. It was the last win for UNLV. That came on September 20th. Katie Ballou, who had the goal for UNLV in the loss to New Mexico, along with Jada Noguez, as UNLV trying to get a cross attempt here on the left-hand side in the blind spot. And looks like it's going to go out of play. It'll be a goal kick here for Air Force. Early on here in Las Vegas, Nevada. 1 shot for each team. One shot by UNLV was blocked in front of the net. Did not get to the goalkeeper. And the other shot for Air Force went over the goalkeeper and out of play as Michaela Morris picks it up. Morris trying to look for Darian Gambetta, who has been kind of mixed around this year for head coach Chris Shaw. She'd come in as a forward off the bench and provided some spark for UNLV offensively when they were just getting a little stagnant. There's going to be a foul on UNLV. Looks like a foul on Jaden Noguez. So for UNLV, they have had wins against Cal Baptist, CSU Bakersfield, and NAU. And a common theme in that all 3 of those wins for UNLV is when they score, they win. That trend was broken against New Mexico, but all but 1 loss this year for UNLV have been shutouts. And they did have a rough stretch early on in the year as Emily Sevilla gets the feed from Almadeira. She'll clear it back out. Michaela Morris trying to fight for UNLV at a rough stretch where they were outscored 15-0 against Duke, UNC, and Texas A&M, all nationally ranked. UNC at the time was the #1 ranked team in the country. As a throw in here for UNLV, looking for Mckenna Sullivan. 2 Air Force defenders on her, and we're going to get a foul on Sullivan. And it's going to be a throw or a free kick here for the Falcons. Stavig was the one who went down. Alex Giggy will have the free kick for the Falcons. Malika Markham will hand it on off to Darian Gambetta. Now Rebels trying to get it past the midfield line. Kicked out of play. Last touch by Air Force. Falcons, their lone tie this year came against Jacksonville, 0-0. They've won an overtime game against North Florida, 3-2 in non-conference play. Their losses have come to St. Francis in double overtime, 3-2 defeat. San Jose State, Colorado State. Those are the 3 losses for this Falcons team. Mentioned in the Mount West standings, Boise State, New Mexico, and San Diego State. 3-way tie for first, 3-1 on the year with 9 points. Fresno State sitting at 4th with 7 points as Cats clamps that ball down, ends the threat by UNLV. Colorado College and Air Force, Colorado State, Wyoming, and San Jose State. You got a 5-way tie for 5th, 2-2 record, 6 points each. Utah State is at 10th, 1-2-1. UNR is 11th at 1-3 with 3 points, and UNLV 0-4, no points. They sit dead last, and for a team that won the Mount West Championship back in 2016, been just close. So close to getting back into the conference tournament to get an opportunity to go to the NCAA tournament and create that magic that they had in 2016. The Rebels just haven't been able to find the magic this year, and it's really been on the offensive side. Katie Ballou and Alyssa Casso are the 2 leading scorers for UNLV, 2 goals each. As a great lead pass here for Air Force, but great defense. I believe that was Alyssa Granados as Paige Almadeira tried to clear it out, but it didn't go far enough. Now here on the left-hand side, looking for a shot attempt, but easily defended by Emily Sevilla, who will turtle that one down and ends the threat by Air Force. That was their first shot on goal. Emma Nelson with the shot attempt. 7.5 minutes played here so far. 0-0 is the score between UNLV and Air Force. Doubleheader here at Peter Johann Memorial Stadium for UNLV, both the men's and women's team. The men's team will be playing Seattle University. Scheduled game time is at 7:30 on the WAC Digital Network as Sevilla get the feed from Almendares, and ball high in the air, gets about 3/4 of the way to the midfield line, and might be a foul on Air Force. No, it's going to be a foul on UNLV's Darian Gambetta. A lot of contact there, and it's going to be a free kick. Larry Friend is the head coach for this Air Force Falcons team in his 11th year. This Air Force Falcons team is diverse in the geographical region here in the United States. They have 13 different states representing this roster. Obviously, being a military academy, recruiting because a lot of difficult as this one is going to be poked into the box. It's fumbled around here in front of the net. UNLV is able to clear it out and ends the threat as that ball was in the box way longer than UNLV would have liked. And I believe we're going to have a foul call, and it's going to be on Air Force. Sorry, free kick here for the Rebels. For Air Force, some of their trends in the first half this year, they've outscored opponents 12-5, outshot opponents 71-48. Saves are the same, 16 each. They've had 25 corners while opponents have had 16, and they've committed less fouls in the first half, 55 by opponents, 49 by Air Force in the first half. For UNLV, trends a little bit different. Struggle tees have come in the first half. 17 goals given up, only 4 goals scored. They've been outshot 109-74. They've had to make more saves, 35-16. And opponents have had 10 more corners than them, 37-27. Last time UNLV was here at home, they had a heartbreaking 2-overtime loss to Utah State, a 1-0 defeat as Katie Ballou comes up with it. Ballou will fire it on over here to left-hand side, kind of in the blind spot here in the media center, as looks like it's going to be out of play, and it's going to be, the referee was pointing, going to be a throw-in here for Air Force. Obviously, you guys can see on the feed there, tough to see in that corner. Almendares will retreat it back out to Samantha Bailey, who's been playing with that large cast on her right arm for a good portion of the season. Ballou wants to switch field. She does on over to Darian Gambetta. Gambetta with a nice move as she fires it to the middle of the field to Jaden Noguez, tallest player on this UNLV roster, flips it up. UNLV has a shot attempt here, and Mckenna Sullivan misses it wide left. Oh, my goodness. Sullivan had a wide open look, but pushed it to the left, and UNLV unable to get on the board here. Still scoreless as we approach the 12th minute mark here in the first half on the campus of UNLV, as Cats will have the goalie kick, and it's going to go past the midfield line. Air Force gets possession, and they're going to switch the field momentarily. Samantha Bailey, she kicks it back on over to Sevilla. And she'll fire it on over to Sullivan, who's got Izzy Perez streaking down the left-hand side. If she wants her, she will find her. Perez looking for a cross attempt here on the left-hand side, but I believe it went out of play. And it's going to be a throw-in for Air Force. Mentioned for UNLV, they play Colorado College on October 13th this Sunday. Be on the road for the last time this year, October 17th and the 20th against San Jose State and Fresno State, before finishing off at home 4 straight games, 3 conference games against Wyoming, Colorado State, and UNR. And then senior day will be November 3rd against SUU, non-conference game for UNLV. As Air Force threatening here, deep inside UNLV's defensive territory for the Falcons. That mentioned they go to UNR on Sunday. Back home against San Diego State and New Mexico. That'll be a tough one there, as that one goes right into the chest of Sevilla. Ends the threat by the Falcons as she'll fire it on over to Paige Almendares. She's trying to find Katie Ballou, but it goes off the bounds to Izzy Perez. Perez has some room here to work with. She tries to fire it on over to Mckenna Sullivan. Sullivan looking for the cross attempt here on the left-hand side. She fires a low cross into the box. Perez has a shot attempt, and this one goes wide right. So UNLV, give them credit. I mean, the last couple games, they haven't been able to come away with some victories and 2 goals in 2 games, but they have been able to shoot their opponents. So that is kind of the confidence that UNLV can build on there. Now they just got to put it a shot on goal attempt and, you know, capitalize on some good opportunities. They missed wide left and now wide right here in the first half. Noguez didn't know where the ball was momentarily. She fires it back on over to Katie Ballou, who gives it on over to Malika Markham. Markham was trying to, or UNLV was trying to fire it on over to Darian Gambetta on the right-hand side in front of the crowd here at Peter Dram Memorial Stadium, but now to play. Throw-in opportunity here for the Falcons. The Falcons trying to improve on a 2-9-6 record last year. They were 1-7-3 in conference play. That was 11th. 6 ties. That is got to be frustrating for a team, but they have improved on it. They had 15 letter winners returned from last year, 6 starters, lost 5. They had 12 newcomers, and seems to be gelling so far as they've really improved this year as they throw an opportunity here for the Rebels. 0-0 is the score as we are 10 seconds away from being at the 15th minute mark here in the first half. About 30 minutes remaining. Samantha Bailey is able to get possession. She fires it on over to Almendares. We'll give it on over to Katie Ballou, who tried to fire it on over to Jada Noguez, but it's intercepted. Now Ballou trying to fight for it. Can't get it. Izzy Perez comes up with it. Now UNLV. Perez going to get a clean handle as she hits it off the backside of one of the Air Force players. UNLV trying to get out of their defensive side here. Air Force has had a couple opportunities to score, but they haven't been able to cash in, much like UNLV, as we're 0-0. Well, Madera's now back over to Katie Ballou. Perez is able to keep it in play. Izzy Perez with some room here. A lot of room now for Izzy as she's deep inside Air Force territory. She goes down. No whistle is called. And Air Force will play on. Perez slow to get up as UNLV trying to regain possession. Almendares is able to get it over and over to Katie Ballou, who gives it up to Malika Markham. And now UNLV will try to attack here on the left-hand side. And it went out of play. Throw-in opportunity for Air Force. So we mentioned for UNLV, the struggle tees this year have been on the offensive end. Only 8 goals so far this year. While giving up 28 goals, they average about 0.67 goals per game. So that's kind of the tough thing right now for UNLV. Shot on goal percentage at .299 while opponents are at .449. They get about 12 shots per game while giving up 17 to their opponents. They've been 2 for 2 on penalty kicks this year, including last game. Katie Ballou, she scored her goal off of a penalty kick, but UNLV was down 3-1 at halftime against New Mexico. Was able to get it to 3-2, but could not get the golden goal as UNLV trying to gain possession. Malika Markham has it. She'll fire back on over to Ballou to Markham. Well, Malika Markham with a nice move, but just too far out as an Air Force player kicks it out of play. Mentioned for UNLV as we have a corner opportunity here, the first of the ball game. Rebels defended their home field so well over the last few years. This year just 1-3 for Air Force. They are 2-0-1 on the road this year. Again, the Rebels find the net here on their first corner opportunity. Ball's up high in the air. It looks good. Opportunity for UNLV. It's floating around in the box. UNLV's got possession. And it's going to be kicked back out. Almendares falls down. A couple players fall down. And now Air Force is able to get possession. That ball dangerously in front of the net. Now have a one-on-one opportunity. But UNLV, their defense gets back quickly with Almendares and Granados as they kick it back on over to Sevilla. As that ball was free in the box area, much like the opportunity that Air Force had early on. Nobody could get a good feel on the ball and so many bodies in the way. So still 0-0 here in the first half. And UNLV will have the throw-in. Katz is able to come away with the ball as UNLV's attack is thwarted on the throw-in opportunity. Mentioned for Air Force, they have had their difficulties against UNLV in this series, 17-6-1. The Falcons are 4-9 against UNLV on the road. As UNLV comes away with possession here, no guess. Give it on over to Almendares. Almendares trying to find an open teammate. As momentarily, UNLV trying to get possession. Malika Markham does, so she'll switch it on over to Darian Gambetta. Gambetta here on the right-hand side. She'll fire one way high and out of play. Looked like a shot, and they're going to give Gambetta a shot attempt here. As UNLV, they've had 4 shots so far, but none of them have been on goal. They've missed wide left and wide right on the ground. 2 shots for Air Force. 1 of them have been on goal so far. Is UNLV trying to gain possession here and give credit to the Rebels so far here in the first half. They've really kind of dominated on their offensive end. Really put a lot of pressure on the defense for the Falcons. They just haven't been able to finish it off. And really, Sevilla has had 1 easy save. Ball went right into her lap as Katie Ballou trying to gain possession here. Air Force quickly will get it back out over the midfield line, and now they will switch the fields here. Here on the left-hand side, Air Force got a streaking player right in front of the net, but Almendares had an opportunity in front of the net, wide open, and a tackle in the box. No foul is called, and the ball will roll on over to Emberly Sevilla as Air Force. Bakken was wide open. I believe Romero had an opportunity at it, but she was knocked down to the ground, and Sevilla was able to come away with the ball. UNLV adverts disaster there as the Falcons had really a nice opportunity with some good passes. Almendares looking for the header, and now Romero has it. She fires the lead pass into the box, shot attempt, and it looked like it knuckled over on the right-hand side. But right to one of their teammates, they fire in front of the net, and a score for Air Force. But UNLV wanted a offsides call, but it will not go. And just as I said, UNLV was really dominant on the offensive end. The Falcons, 2 straight possessions, put a lot of pressure on UNLV, and they score a goal to take a 1-0 lead as Bree Bezdek will check in for the Falcons. Emma Nelson scores the goal for the Falcons. And for Nelson, that is goal number 3 on the year, as she was able to find the back of the net after looked like a shot attempt. It looked like a shot attempt from my vantage point, as Air Force now quickly will bring it up here. Looking for another cross as they lead it 1-0. They put it inside the box, but Izzy Perez is right there. Perez will clear it back out off the head of Noguez. Mckenna Sullivan trying to fight for it, and she will gain possession. But looked like UNLV, or for Air Force, a shot attempt just looked like it knuckled away, but he had an open player on the left-hand side for the Falcons and then fired off a pass. And it went in for the goal as player was onside, or as Nelson was onside for Air Force. Now another opportunity here as the Falcons picking it up on UNLV. Shot attempt is blocked. Nelson was looking for goal number 2. She regains possession. Nelson now in the box, puts it in between the legs, and Sevilla will come out, dives on the ground, and clamps it down, and a threat. As Air Force has picked it up here in the last 5 minutes on UNLV. The Rebels have had some great opportunities, but have missed wide left and wide right. You got to take advantage of those opportunities. A lead pass over and over to Michaela Morris. Morris here on the left-hand side, 2-on-1 disadvantage. Morris will fire it into the box, and Cats will dive on the ground and will stop that threat by UNLV. In the 23rd minute here at Peter Johann Memorial Stadium, Romero breaks free away from Almendares as she quickly tracks her down. Romero, she gets by Almendares. Romero's in the box. Another shot attempt and a save off the chest of Sevilla in the box, and now she's on the ground. Ball still loose. Shot attempt, and it will stay out. Oh, my goodness. Almendares keeps it out of play. Another shot attempt goes out of play. My goodness, how did that ball not go in? At about 3 or 4 shot attempts by Air Force. How did that one not go in? As Sevilla made a nice save, but the rebound, she was unable to corral the rebound, and Almendares on her back just kicking the ball out of play. Had it been from up here, maybe a couple inches from crossing the line, as now we've got a corner opportunity here for the Falcons as they lead it 1-0. This one's going to be put up high in the net, but it's going to go wide left into the side of the net. And substitutions for UNLV, we've got a lot of them right now. Marcella Brooks is into the ball game. Robin Pollard is into the ball game, and Lourdes Bosch is into the ball game. Gambetta is out, Noguez is out, and Perez is out. So next we have Mckenna Sullivan is out as well.
When you say subs, you say who they're coming against, like
Actually, Perez is not going out. She went over to the bench, but now she's walking back onto the field. Emily Benner is into the ball game as well, so I'll let her check in for the Falcons. Came in for Catherine Bakken as UNLV trailing this one 1-0. Head coach Chris Shaw using 3 substitutions here, including Marcella Brooks, who had possession momentarily. Brooks, a freshman from Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Centennial High School up in the northwest part of the valley. Lourdes Bosch, she had a goal score this year as Katie Ballou will fire one into the net. But we're going to have a foul called on Air Force, and it's going to be a free kick opportunity for the Rebels. So Katie Ballou will have the free kick. She has 3 Air Force defenders lining up in a wall. UNLV needs some magic here. Trailing this 1-0. Ballou, she'll put it up high into the box. Header attempt for UNLV. It's in front of the net as the goalkeeper Katz went out. But UNLV wasn't able to get the opportunity. Almendares goes down, and she goes down hard, and we're going to get another foul. Almendares is.
No, because that means that's telling the trainer not to come on the field. Once the trainer
Looks like Almendares is okay. She took a hard fall, but another foul. Yeah, Katz went out into the box, but the rebound, UNLV was unable to find a player there to get the putback, and now Katie Ballou will have another opportunity. Almost the exact identical spot. She'll put this one low. It's in the box here. Opportunity for UNLV, but a couple players. We got 3 players down in the box, and now UNLV, the throw-in opportunity here after the ball is knocked out of play. Still UNLV unsuccessful on those 2 free kicks by Katie Ballou. If you're just joining us, Emma Nelson scored in the 21st minute to give Air Force a 1-0 lead. Bosch on the left-hand side, and it's going to be off the deflection. And it'll be a goal kick here for Air Force as they kind of catch their breath here as UNLV really put the pressure on the last few minutes. Perez will head it, and on over to Malika Markham, who's trying to fire it on over to the right-hand side for Pollard, who just checked in the ball game, out of play. Throw in for UNLV. Air Force, they've had 5 shots. 4 of them have been on goal. UNLV, 4 shots. None of them have been on goal. Each team has had 1 corner, 3 fouls each. 3 saves for Sevilla. Off of the 5 shots she has faced, as UNLV unable to keep possession. Trying to get a corner opportunity, but it will be a goal kick for Cats. And now Paige Almendarez, she will pick up the possession here at the midfield line, and now trying to give it to Katie Ballou, but just out of her reach. And now Air Force trying to flip the field here, but Almendarez has done a fantastic job on the defensive side, is able to create it over here to Robin Pollard. Pollard trying to gain possession. She will let that go out of play. It was the last touch by an Air Force defender. Bosch gets the throw in. Bosch will try to fire it over the midfield. Katie Ballou trying to fight for it. Ballou is bodied down to the ground, and it's a clean play. Referee will let them play on, and Air Force gains possession here as they will flip the field and trying to look for Romero on the open end. She has Almendarez all over her. Almendarez gets possession momentarily, trying to find it to Izzy Perez. And Almendarez will clear it out to the midfield line momentarily. As we approach the 30th minute mark here in Las Vegas, Nevada, here at Peter Dram Memorial Stadium. Kayla Morris trying to get some separation, and she was attacking on the left-hand side. Kicked out of play by Milford. Throw in here for UNLV. This one's a good throw into the box, but it's knocked back out. Morris trying to fight for it. Rebels now have possession. Brooks with a shot at, or it looked like a shot attempt, but it was deflected. Bosch now with a shot attempt, another deflection. 2 deflections by this Air Force defense, and now they come on the attack offensively, but it is taken away by Samantha Bailey. To take away a couple minutes in this first half, it's been all UNLV. Air Force was able to get the first goal of the game, and then a fantastic save by Sevilla and Almendarez in the box to prevent a second goal. That happened really in back-to-back possessions for Air Force. Rebels have had some good opportunities, but they haven't put a shot on goal yet. They've missed wide left on the ground and wide right. This is the first of 2 home games this weekend for UNLV. Colorado College on Sunday. Air Force hitting both Nevada schools this week as that one goes into the net. Sevilla lost control of it, but a player goes down, or Air Force player goes down. Romero, I believe, too close to Sevilla as she went down, tripped over her as the ball rolled away. But that was a dangerous sequence there for UNLV that they are able to clear the ball out a couple times. just hold your breath moments for UNLV as now Almendares goes down and Romero goes down as well. And Almendares is slow to get up yet again.
Free kicks, red, foul on
6 on red 8.
Almendares will talk to the official. The official will wave off. Now we're going to get a stoppage of play here. And that's the last thing UNLV wants to see. Their senior captain, Paige Almendares, has just been fantastic this year.
Mark, you said this is like, don't come on the field. He's telling the train. Okay.
So, but
And she is kind of the position she has her arm right now. I don't know if it's maybe a shoulder injury there for Almendares, but she isn't really holding it down to her side. She's just kind of holding it to her chest. And hopefully she is okay. But she looks like she is in obvious pain, just bending down. So we'll see if the senior can continue. Yeah, Samantha Bailey gets possession. She tries to fire it on over to Sevilla. Sevilla has to make a couple moves, and we'll give it on over to Paige. Back over to Katie Ballou. Now UNLV will switch the field here. Yeah, the way Almendares was just kind of holding her arm, her right arm, and I believe is going to have some substitutions here for UNLV. You got Alyssa Casso, but yeah, the way she was holding her arm, kind of get the fear of like a collarbone injury, just when you just can't move your arm. You have to keep it kind of at a 90-degree angle as Michaela Morris will check out, sorry. Casso on the year has 2 goals, and both of them were in the second half. A win against CSU Bakersfield way back on September 1st. Tied for Katie Ballou in that department, most goals scored. Other players that have scored for UNLV this year has been Noguez, Sullivan, Bosch, and Perez. As this one is into the box here, Air Force has possession. Bailey all over the attacker for Air Force. They try to fire it on over to Romero, but unable to. I believe it was Benner who had possession. She could not capitalize on some good field position there for Air Force as UNLV tries to fire it down the field over to Casso, but unable to keep it possession. And now the ball's knocked out of play. Throw in here for UNLV. Blue double team. She will knock it off a Falcon player as I guess it was last touched by UNLV. Blue tried to fire it quickly in. A couple substitutions here for Air Force. Bella Colandrea is in, along with Kelleen Osba.
Also number 17, Bella Colandrea.
So a couple substitutions here for Air Force as they lead it 1-0 if you're just joining us. Emma Nelson scored the first goal of the ball game in the 21st minute, and a foul is going to be called on UNLV. This is the lone goal so far here in Las Vegas. And Peter Dram Memorial Stadium here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Beautiful fall late afternoon as it started to cool down the last couple days. This one's going to be up high in the air, but not deep enough. Almendares heads it, and UNLV will clear it on out to Bosch momentarily, but Air Force is able to force the ball all the way back, and it'll be thought it was going to be a goal kick, but Almendares picked it up just before it went past the line, and now Air Force trying to regain possession. Bailey kicks it back out, but if UNLV could have found Lourdes Bosch, she could have an opportunity for a one-on-one opportunity past the midfield line. And now Air Force here on the left-hand side looking for a cross attempt. Granados all over the attacker for the Falcons. That one's put into the net area, but is spit right back out, and now here comes UNLV trying to flip the fields here. And Lourdes Bosch doing a fantastic job. Marcella Brooks, one-on-one opportunity, and Katz gets there before the freshman from Centennial High School here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And now a player goes down. It's going to be a foul called on, well, I thought it was going to be a foul call on UNLV. It was a clean tackle by Bosch. And go out of the touch line. Throw in here for the Rebels. Less than 10 minutes to go here in the first half here in Las Vegas, Nevada. UNLV trailing this one 1-0. As Ariana Reyes, she is newly entered in the ballgame for UNLV. Bosch flipped the field on over to Almendarez. Almendarez using some fancy footwork. She'll fire off a shot attempt. It was actually got a lot of power in that shot by Almendarez, so far away, but it's defended by Katz right into her lap. It's the first shot on goal for UNLV. And now UNLV will flip the field here. Casso trying to drive on the right-hand side, but she is intercepted from behind. A couple players go down for Air Force and UNLV. Air Force player slow to get up. And we're going to get a whistle, and I believe maybe a foul or offside. Didn't see what the official was signaling. So Sevilla will have the free kick here for UNLV. They trail it 1-0. It's low on over to Ballou, who kind of fired it behind the back, intercepted by the Falcons. Now the Falcons trying to gain possession here. They have it on over to Benner. Benner will flip the field on over to Mahowald, and that one will go into the box. Lourdes Bosch gains possession, and Bosch will try to get it past the midfield line on a one-on-one disadvantage. Bosch goes down, and it's going to be a whistle on Air Force. And we're going to get a stoppage of play here. In the 39th minute, I believe we're going to have our first yellow card of the day. We are. It's going to go against Air Force. 15. Aaron Spear will pick up the yellow card, a senior from Highlands Ranch, Colorado. So that is the first yellow card of the day. Just the 8th on the year for this Air Force Falcons team. UNLV, they've been able to draw now 14 on the year compared to 4 that they have committed, although one of them led to a red card. That was in the Utah State game where UNLV was at a disadvantage for a majority of this game, as Josie DeCunzo will check in for UNLV for Izzy Perez. DeCunzo, a junior from Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Spring Valley High School. Katie Blue will have the free kick for the Rebels, and she will fire it high and into the box, headed away by Air Force over to Lourdes Bosch. Bosch trying to gain possession. She has Nelson all over her, along with Bezdek, and that's knocked out of play. We're going to get another host of substitutions here. Cameron Karras will check in for Air Force.
Air Force substitution number 22, Cameron Karras. Now in 22, Cameron Karras.
Karras will check in for Nelson. So good first half for Emma Nelson, the junior from Omaha, Nebraska, who picked up the lone goal in this ball game. As we are about a couple of seconds away from the 40th minute. Air Force on top, 1-0. And UNLV trying to gain possession here. They do with Robin Pollard over to Brooks. Marcella Brooks. She tries to look like she was winding up for a long pass, but it was deflected. Now UNLV has it on the left-hand side. It's Robin Pollard. She's on a one-on-one advantage here, and it's going to be knocked out of play. And I believe we're going to get another corner opportunity for UNLV. It'd be their second of the ball game.
I don't know how to put it on. I know how to adjust it or adjust it. Maybe it'll show up automatically. Maybe it won't, but Brian didn't show me how to leave the scorebook stuff.
1-0 here in the 40th minute. Air Force on top. UNLV threatening with the corner opportunity. Rebels have not scored a goal off a corner this year. It's high up in the net. It's bouncing around. It's a goal for UNLV. Lourdes Bosch is able to get it in, and the Rebels score to tie it up. And UNLV, just right on cue, I said they haven't scored a goal off of a corner. They're able to get one as Bosch is able to pick up goal number 2 on the year. And we are tied 1-1 in the 41st minute here at Peter Johann Memorial Stadium. A big goal for the Rebels as they finally are able to finish an offensive drive that they've had some great opportunities. And Lourdes Bosch is able to come away with the goal, and she's able to draw the foul call. And now the Rebels trying to keep more momentum going and trying to go up 2-1 here.
UNLV goal scored by number 24, Lourdes Bosch.
Bosch, a freshman from Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of West Career and Technical Academy.
Lourdes Bosch at 41:05.
The goal was unassisted,
Score all knotted up.
as the free kick by Katie Ballou does not touch anybody. Out of play. Goal kick here for Cats. And that is the first goal UNLV has scored here at home since September 20th against NAU. That was a 2-1 victory. So back-to-back games for the Rebels that they have been able to find the net. That hasn't happened since August 30th and September 1st against Cal Baptist and CSU Bakersfield. The Rebels looking for their first conference win of the year. The Falcons will try to fire it into the net, but is headed away by Bailey over to Bosch. Brooks will poke it up to Bosch, who gives it up to Robin Pollard. Pollard has some room. She's attacking on the left-hand side. Pollard now looking for a shot attempt here, and it just goes over the net. And she switched it from left to middle and fired it just over the net, man. It had some good arc to it, but a missed opportunity there for UNLV. But the offense starting to click here now. 3 goals in the last 2 games for the Rebels. As we approach 6 o'clock local time here, UNLV and Air Force tied up at 1. Ariana Reyes, she has possession. Reyes gives it on over to Bosch. Bosch looking for Decunzo. She has it. Low cross attempt in the box. And a shot attempt by Marcella Brooks is deflected away. Man, Brooks has had about 4 or 5 kicks today that she has been deflected by this defense for Air Force. And now the Falcons will quickly switch the field. Alyssa Granados put on the brakes, spin around, and gets it past the midfield line looking for Bosch. 8 shots for UNLV. 2 of them have been on goal. As 1 minute remains here at Peter Johann Memorial Stadium, Sevilla gets the pass from Almendares. 5 shots for the Falcons. 4 of them have been on goal. As Almendarez looking for Ariana Reyes. Reyes trying to gain possession here. And she's going to get called for a foul call. So a free kick here for the Falcons. They quickly move into position here as we got about 20 seconds left. Coaches for UNLV disputing that call. High up in the air, Sevilla comes with it, and she will clamp it down.
6, 5,
And with that last save by the sophomore
1.
for UNLV, that will end the first half here at Peter Johann Memorial Stadium. Air Force scores a goal in the 21st minute by Nelson, but UNLV is able to answer back with a goal by Lourdes Bosch in the 41st minute, and we are tied 1 apiece as we head to halftime here at Peter Johann Memorial Stadium. Coming up next, second half between Air Force and UNLV. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Peter Dram Memorial Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. Wyatt Tomczyk on the call. Thank you for joining us wherever you are watching. UNLV and Air Force are tied up 1-1 as we get ready to start the second half. Emma Nelson had the goal for the Falcons. Lourdes Bosch scored the goal for UNLV off of a corner kick in the 41st minute. And that is how we are tied up at 1. UNLV trying to win its first conference game of the year. The Rebels just 3-9 on the year, 0-4 in conference play, while the Air Force Falcons, they are 7-3-1, 2-2 in conference play. Some of the stat lines here for UNLV, they had 8 total shots, 2 of them on goal, 3 saves, 2 corners, no offsides, no yellows or reds, and they held possession for 55% of that first half. Yeah, as the Air Force quickly trying to get in to UNLV's defensive box, but Michaela Morris is able to stop it away. Now UNLV with an opportunity here. Here come the Rebels. Alyssa Casso on the right-hand side, and she just dribbled it too far out, and it's going to be out of the touchline. And UNLV, great start, though, to the second half, really put some pressure on the Falcons. For Air Force, 5 shots, 4 of them have been on goal, 1 save, 1 corner. They've had 1 offsides and 1 yellow card. They had possession for 45% of that first half. Mckenna Sullivan, Paige Almendarez, Darian Gambetta, Izzy Perez, Marcella Brooks, and Robin Pollard with Lourdes Bosch have had goal opportunities or shot opportunities for the Rebels. As Bosch, she'll fire off a shot attempt, but it goes right to the goalkeeper, Danielle Katz. She clamps it down for the save. Bosch has been fantastic coming off the bench for the Rebels, picking up her 2nd goal of the year. Scored her 1st goal against NAU in a 2-1 win. The last non-conference game UNLV played before, or second to last, sorry. They played Utah Valley the game after, but it was the last win for UNLV, trying to end a long losing streak under head coach Chris Shaw. And they've been looking good. They'll fire this one into the box and a diving save. Robin Pollard with the shot attempt, and Katz. It's been busy so far. We're not even 2 minutes into this second half. She's already had to face 3 scoring chances by UNLV, 2 shot attempts that went on goal. And for the Falcons, Lexi Romero, Bakken, Emma Nelson, and Bezdek have had the shot attempts here. Romero is the leading goal scorer for this Air Force team as the player goes down for the Falcons, but it's going to go out of the touchline, and we're going to have a throw-in opportunity here, or nope, it's going to be a foul on UNLV, so the Falcons will have the free kick. UNLV, they've lost 5 games in a row. They've had 2 1-0 defeats in conference play, a double overtime heartbreaker against Utah State, and a 1-0 loss to San Diego State in a game at UNLV outshot the Aztecs, and now we're going to get a foul. Nope, will not be a foul as the player goes down for UNLV, but it's going to be a throw-in here for the Rebels. Almendarez will come on in. Paige took in a couple hard falls in that first half. Looks like she is okay here in the second. UNLV, they've also lost to Boise State 2-0. Boise State currently tied for first in the Mountain West, and then a 3-2 defeat to New Mexico in the last game. As UNLV will fire this one into the box. Opportunity for the Rebels, but it's going to be cleared out on over to Samantha Bailey, who gives it back on over to Almendarez. And pass taken away by Air Force, and now the Falcons will try to switch the field here. It's been all UNLV here in the first couple minutes of this second half. They've been living in the Falcons zone here. Michaela Morris trying to streak by, and Morris goes down in the box. A couple players go down, and it's going to be a corner opportunity here for UNLV. The last time they had a corner opportunity, they scored for the first time this year off of a corner. Their 9th overall goal on the year. 3rd corner for UNLV. And will be Paige Almendarez will have the assignment of booting this one into the box. It's short and to the left. UNLV trying to gain possession. They do not. It's cleared out on over to Bailey, and then she will fire it high up in the air on the left-hand side. Pollard trying to chase after. So is Almendares, but it's going to be kicked out of the touchline. Throw in here for the Rebels. 1-1 is the score here at Peter Johann Memorial Stadium in the approaching the 50th minute. Now we'll go out of play. Last touch by UNLV. Goal kick here for Cats. Cats, a junior, gets set, and she will boot this one away, the Rebels. Hit it a couple times here with the Falcons. DeCunzo, Bosch, and Morris trying to fight for it. Morris, she's thought she had an opportunity for it, and Lourdes Bosch, who is, and now we're going to get a whistle here for the official as Bosch will be hurried back over. It's going to be a free kick here for Katie Ballou. Bosch was turning around looking at the official, wondering where the foul call was as Michaela Morris was trying to fight to gain possession. So Ballou will boot this one high up into the air, into the box. It's headed once by UNLV, but Air Force has a player there trying to gain possession. Morris trying to fight for it. DeCunzo has it momentarily, and now it's going to be cleared down, and will it stay in play? It will. And here comes Lexi Romero. Romero has Granados on her here on the left-hand side. Romero, 2-on-1 disadvantage. Kicks it back out. Falcons are able to switch the field here. Romero able to get the tip pass momentarily. And now Air Force trying to find an open lane here, and the cross attempt goes to the left and out of play. Didn't realize the band was there. Guess decided to play the fight song halfway through the second half, but all right. There's Air Force and UNLV. 1-1 is the score. And that will go out of play. Throw in for the Rebels. And now the Falcons trying to get a first shot on goal here, and they might have it here in the second half. They got a little separation in front of the box. Air Force with a shot attempt, but it's going to be blocked by UNLV. Rebels trying to get it here in the left-hand corner. A sliding tackle, and the ball's kicked out of play. Last touch by Air Force. So UNLV trying to get out of danger here deep in their own defensive territory.
I mean, it's considered our first mistake, I guess, but they're allowed
And off the throw in, UNLV, Ariana Reyes trying to fight for it, but it's taken away by the Falcons. They fire it up in the middle. Couple high kicks here. Romero just trying to see if that ball would go, take a lucky bounce to find one of her teammates, but it does not, goes out of play. Sevilla will have the goalie kick here. Just joining us, 1-1 is the score between UNLV and Air Force. Emma Nelson and Lourdes Bosch, the goal scorers for each team. Bailey trying to clear it out, did not get a good kick on it, wasn't able to get a good kick on it. Bosch trying to gain possession. She's been fantastic. Off the bench for UNLV, Michaela Morris trying to fight for it. Morris against Mahowald. And DeCunzo fires one off of the body of a Falcon defender. Bosch. She's knocked down. DeCunzo will fire a lead pass over to Mckenna Sullivan. Sullivan has possession. Actually, no, that is Alyssa Casso. The shot attempt, and it goes off of the hands of Katz, but she is able to quickly get the rebound. Sorry, that was Alyssa Casso, who is in the ball game for UNLV. Came off the bench and started here in the second half. As quickly the Falcons switch the field. UNLV comes up with the turnover here. Michaela Morris trying to win the one-on-one battle. This one's going to go in front of the goalkeeper. Casso was right there in front of Katz, but Katz is able to clear it out. There's Jennifer McFadden, who was able to clear the ball back over to Katz and throw in here for the Falcons. 10 minutes into the second half here, UNLV has been in control. Put on the pressure. There's Granados with the header. Katie Ballou trying to fight for it, but coming away with it are the Falcons. This is Nelson. Nelson will have to kick it back out. Maholwald had it. Now Romero trying to gain possession. Ballou back and forth here at the midfield line. Lourdes Bosch, and Bosch is sent down, and we're going to get free play here, and I believe a foul is going to be called on Air Force as Lourdes Bosch was just thrown down to the ground here. Air Force has one yellow card.
Or was it on her 24, right? The little
Who fouled her?
This one right here. She's walking.
See the official score sheet for who committed the foul, but Bosch went down. UNLV have a free kick just in front of the midfield line. Ballou got a good leg. Will fire it up into the box, but it's quickly headed out by Air Force. They try to clear it out, but Ballou trying to field it. Can't get it cleanly. And now they fire it over here on the left-hand side right in front of us. DeCunzo intercepts the pass, and it's going to be last touch by Josie. Throw in for Air Force. Long throw over to Romero. Granados gains possession. She gives it on over to Ariana Reyes. Reyes back over to DeCunzo, who fires it into the box. Alyssa Casso trying to fight for it. Casso knocked the player down. Casso with a shot attempt, and it goes off the post and out of play, but I don't think it was going to matter because a foul call was going to be on Alyssa Casso. Either that or offsides. So it'll be a free kick here for Danielle Katz. She will get it just past the midfield line. And here comes Bosch. Bosch, who's had such great speed. Bosch trying to take it all the way. Bosch with the shot attempt, but it was wide left. Katz clamps it down on the left-hand side. She makes the save, but I think the ball was going to go to the left of that post. It's been all UNLV here in the second half, but the Rebels just haven't been able to get that go-ahead goal. Rebels trying to end a 5-game losing streak. They've scored in back-to-back games this year. They've only done it once as Michaela Morris trying to fight for it, but the ball is going to go to Katz, and we're going to get a throw-in here for Danielle Katz as UNLV will have to retreat back defensively. Katz will boom it. Ballou gets that one first. And Air Force gets it off the head, but UNLV, they've been fantastic defensively after giving up that first goal in the 21st minute. Just been everywhere in the passing zones for the Falcons. UNLV, 11 shots, 5 of them have been on goal. 6 shots, 4 of them have been on goal for the Falcons. As Bakken fire back on over to Nelson. Nelson trying to fire a lead pass. Lourdes Bosch, who's just been everywhere for UNLV right now. And here comes Alyssa Casso for UNLV, but she has the ball knocked out of play. Throw in for the Rebels, and we're going to get a couple substitutions. Actually, one for Air Force. Alex Gigi is into the ball game.
substitution, number 21, Alex Gigi.
So Gigi will check in. As UNLV trying to attack here on the right-hand side, and the ball's going to be knocked out to play. Last touch by the Rebels. Throw in here for Air Force. Aaron Spear checked out for the Falcons on that substitution. Reyes trying to gain possession. Kicked back on over to Almendares. And Page try to fire it over a lead pass to Lourdes Bosch. Robin Pollard coming in. Pollard unable to gain possession. Here comes the Falcons just past the midfield line. 6 shots, as we mentioned, for Air Force. 4 of them have been on goal. And here come the Falcons. They've got some steam here. They're going to fire this one in the box. A shot attempt, and it goes wide right past a diving Emberly Sevilla, but it was last touched by UNLV, and it's going to be a corner opportunity for the Falcons. Their second of the game. Their best offensive sequence as they quickly march down the field and put on a good shot attempt. Well, for the Falcons, looking on their stats for this year, of the 22 goals they've scored, none of them have been off of corners. As this one's going to be up high in the air. Still up high, but it's going to go way out of play. Hit the safety net behind the goal area for UNLV, and the Rebels will quickly go on the attack here as Michaela Morris has it past the midfield line. She kicks it back out. UNLV will look to switch the fields, and they try to with Katie Ballou. As Ballou falls down, no contact or no foul is called. Granados trying to fight for it. He's on a 2-on-1 disadvantage, and she loses the ball to Bakken. Gives it up to Romero, who has Almendares on her. Now kicks it back out. Air Force in the box. They're going to go to the middle here. A shot attempt, and it's going to be deflected by UNLV. The Rebels are able to clear it out for a throw-in opportunity. Good defense by UNLV to block the shot attempt. Off the throw-in, the Falcons looking for a cross attempt here. They're going to send it, and Sevilla is able to clamp it down. And we'll end the threat by Air Force. 7-3-1, 2-2 in conference play. Their last game was a 1-0 defeat to Colorado State. UNLV currently sitting last in the Mount West standings right now, looking for their first win and first points. As the Rebels will have a throw in here. Rebels will kick it back out. Bosch on over to Ballou. We'll give it up to Josie. Josie will fire it into the box off the body of a UNLV player. And Air Force will clear it out. Almendares trying to race down against Romero on the right-hand side. Almendares. And now Air Force, a little threat here. Good battle here on the right-hand side. As they kick it back out, a couple players go down. He's able to clear it out momentarily, and it's going to be last touched by Air Force as Mckenna Sullivan will check back into the ballgame for UNLV. I believe she might be coming in for Alyssa Casso, but nope, it's going to be Robin Pollard that she is going to check out for.
For 23. UNLV.
UNLV substitution in the ballgame, number 7.
So Robin Pollard will check out for UNLV. Mckenna Sullivan is in for the Rebels as we are at the 64th minute mark here at Peter Johann Memorial Stadium here in Las Vegas, Nevada. 1-1 is the score between UNLV and Air Force. Lourdes Bosch has scored the only goal for UNLV. Emma Nelson has the goal for Air Force as that one will go into the box. Sevilla is able to stop another threat by Air Force. At the next substitution, Jaden Noguez will check in for UNLV. Bosch trying to fight for it. Sullivan has it. Bosch goes down yet again. A whistle is called. Sullivan with some separation as UNLV trying to switch the field. Now Rebels have it in the midfield. Over to Bosch. Bosch on a 2-on-1 disadvantage. UNLV still able to get possession here with Mckenna Sullivan. Rebels attack here on the right-hand side. And it's going to go out of play. A couple players go down, and we're going to have a corner opportunity for the Rebels. And Noguez will check in for the Rebels. Stavig will check in for Air Force. Reyes will check out.
18. Coming in for 18. Thank you. Yeah, for the corner.
And coming out for Air Force will be number 9, Osba. So with the corner attempt, ball put up high in the air. UNLV's got some bodies there. A shot attempt, and it goes out of play. Rebels had a good opportunity there. It was high up in the air. A lot of bodies there for UNLV. Kind of like really a perfect corner opportunity, but the Rebels unable to put the ball into the net.
For the Falcons, number 18, Casey Stavig, now in the ball game. Replacing number 9, Kila Osoba.
That was actually Kaylin Osoba. Sorry for the mispronunciation. As Air Force and UNLV tied up at 1. DeCunzo trying to keep it in play, but she wisely lets it go out of play. Last touch by Air Force. And Josie will fire it on in off the head of Mckenna Sullivan. Romero trying to find some rhythm there. The leading goal scorer for the Falcons, sitting at 9 goals this year, 3 assists, 21 points. She has 11 more points than Jillian Jamero. Actually, that will go down to 10 more points as Jamero had the assist on the goal by Emma Nelson. DeCunzo, and that was deflected out of play. Last touch by Air Force. UNLV will have the throw, and that was last touch by McFadden. Melissa Granados will have the throw in for the Rebels. She gives it up to Mckenna Sullivan. And now Morris. Kayla Morris over to Jaden Noguez, who's into the ball game. Noguez fires the lead pass, but nobody is there for UNLV. And Katie Ballou misses that attempted steal on the clear away. And now here comes Air Force. And Emberly Sevilla, she will wave everybody off as the lead pass will go right to her. And she will shoo everyone back, and it will be a kick here for the sophomore as it will go past the midfield line, just in front of the midfield line, I'm sorry. And now UNLV will come on the attack here. They try to fire it on over to DeCunzo on the right-hand side. She quickly fires it up into the box, but it's headed away. Mckenna Sullivan is there. She'll head it up in front. Lourdes Bosch trying to fight for it, but Air Force is able to clear it out to the midfield line, and now the Falcons quickly will switch the field here. Romero has it. She's on a 2-on-1 disadvantage. She fired off a lead pass. No one near it. Sevilla will clear it out, but it goes out of play, so a throw-in opportunity here for the Falcons, and they'll have a chance to get some bodies over on the offensive end. This ball put up high in the box. UNLV's got a couple players there. Now open space here for the Falcons. Shot attempt is blocked way back, about halfway through the defensive side here for UNLV, and then a foul is going to be called on the Falcons. And UNLV will have a free kick that will end the attack by Air Force as they pick up their 8th foul of the ball game, 5 compared here for UNLV. And off for the free kick, Rebels trying to gain possession here on the left-hand side along the crowd. I give the band credit. They showed up about at the 50th minute mark. They've been playing nonstop for 20 minutes. As DeCunzo will fire it, but she might have made a bad mistake as she fired it on over to Emberly Sevilla, but it went well to the left. Sevilla had to hurry over to knock it out of play. I don't know if it's a corner opportunity. I believe it's going to be a deep throw in. Sevilla, nice job just to get that ball out of play and not give a corner opportunity for the Falcons. And now this one's going to be high up into the box here for UNLV. They're getting it out momentarily, and they'll clear it out, and it's going to be last touch by Air Force. So UNLV breathes a sigh of relief there, as that could have been a corner opportunity off of a missed kick. UNLV gets it over to the middle of the field to Ballou, but Ballou's pass is intercepted for Lourdes Bosch by McFadden. Now Air Force's attempt is taken away by Almendares. Less than 20 minutes to go here in regulation of a 1-1 tie between UNLV and Air Force. All right, Tom Check on the call. Thank you for joining us on your Friday night, wherever you are watching. Great game between UNLV and Air Force. Opportunity here for the Rebels, but they're going to be called for offsides. I believe that was Mckenna Sullivan. It was that just got too far ahead of the pass and is called for the offsides. Would have been a one-on-one opportunity, but it's going to be the second offsides for UNLV. Kick here for Cats. And she will fire it back on over. UNLV has it at the midfield line. Sullivan will kick it back out. And here come the Rebels with a little bit of speed here. Bosch gives it on over to Michaela Morris. Morris against three Falcon defenders, and the goalkeeper, Katz included, is able to force the corner, but Morris is down on the ground, and Michaela Morris, who's been dealing with some injuries this year, slow to get up and has a noticeable limp. And that's the last thing UNLV wants to see. Morris has been a fantastic player in her 4 years here at UNLV. And looks like Marcella Brooks will check in at the next whistle. And I think maybe, well, I don't know. Brooks more of a midfielder. As Almendares will put this one up high into the box. A header attempt for UNLV, and it just is saved. DeCunzo will put it up in, and another save by Katz. So many bodies there you can't really see from our vantage point, but boy, that ball looked like it had some open space to go in the net. Katz is able to deny UNLV twice, and she'll put it up high in the air. And now Mckenna Sullivan trying to fight for it. Air Force gets to it quickly, and they clear it past the midfield line over to Almendares. Switch it back to Bailey, who's got Granados on the left-hand side, but she fires it to the midfield for Lourdes Bosch, who now fires it on over to Josie DeCunzo. Josie trying to get to the ball first, but she let the Air Force player knock the ball out of play. And here comes Marcella Brooks. Brooks is listed as a midfielder and forward, so she will get the forward spot for Michaela Morris, who obviously took a hard fall, setting up that corner opportunity for UNLV, and UNLV will fire this one up high in the box, but it's way, way, way out of the intended area. Now the Rebels gain possession here on the left-hand side. They fire a shot, then it's going to be saved by Katz high up in the air. That was the 13th shot for UNLV, 6 shots on goal, 9 shots for Air Force. 4 of them have been on goal. And a fun game here between the Falcons and UNLV. The Rebels doing everything they can to get back on their winning ways. Last touch by Air Force. UNLV will quickly have the throw-in. And now that one will go out of play off of UNLV, so everyone will shift all the way back to the left. And here comes Air Force with the throw-in. So throw in at the midfield line. UNLV will have a substitution at the next whistle. It will be Malika Markham. Almaderis able to intercept that pass as she took it off of her chest, and now UNLV will bring it up here on the left-hand side. Rebels, a little bit of space. Looking for a cross attempt here, and the Rebels will fire one in, but Cats clamps it down yet again. UNLV putting up a lot of shots here. That is number 14. 7 now on goal. That is above their average of 12 shots per game. So, you know, in the last 3 games for UNLV, they've been able to find a little bit of rhythm offensively. Able to outshoot their opponents now for the 3rd straight game, if it stands here for Air Force, unless Air Force can get about 6 more shot attempts. So UNLV's none, as now a couple players go down, and it was kind of friendly fire here. We got a player down, clutching her knee for Air Force. Here comes UNLV. Lourdes Bosch, a 3-on-3 here for the Rebels. Marcella Brooks. Brooks will switch it to the midfield. Brooks with a shot attempt, but it goes wide right as she puts her hands up in the air in frustration. It's the 3rd time UNLV has just missed the net here. This one wide right, as Malika Markham will check in for Katie Ballou. Good game for Ballou, as she has done a fantastic job really gaining possession at the midfield line and creating opportunities for UNLV on the offensive end. And that ball stayed in play, and in a hard fall here. Got another player down for Air Force, holding her knee, as number 19 for the Falcons, Emma Nelson, and she went down hard and kind of right in front of us, and the grass isn't really friendly in that part of the field here at Peter Johann Memorial Stadium, as we're going to get a whistle. And who's it going to be on? And the foul is going to be on Air Force, so UNLV will have a free kick. So Markham will have the kick here. 1-1 is the score between UNLV and Air Force in the 77th minute. Air Force will head that one away, and now the Falcons will gain possession here, as Nelson will come up here on the left-hand side, gets a little bit of room, and she goes up against Alyssa Granados, switches it over to the midfield. Now can UNLV get back on the defense here, and a pass attempt was deflected right back. UNLV has just been doing a great job defensively since giving up the lone goal. Yeah, Sevilla will clamp that one down. Easy save there for the sophomore. And just past the midfield line. Sullivan trying to fight for it, but it's cleared away back at the midfield. Jaden Noguez, tallest player on UNLV's lineup. Lourdes Bosch, and Bosch is going to be called for the foul. Noguez standing at 6'1". And the Falcons will have a free kick here. No substitutions in line right now, right in front of us. So see what these coaches have in mind. And for UNLV, they've had one overtime loss in conference play. It was a double overtime heartbreak to Utah State to begin the conference season. As Marcella Brooks trying to fight for it, but it's going to be cleared back out over to Katz. And she will switch it on over to the left-hand side, but right to UNLV attacker. And give it on over to Sullivan off her foot. It's taken away. And now the Falcons trying to get something offensively. Romero against Granados. Granados keeps it away. They give it on over to Josie. Josie has Nelson all over her. Fecunzo is able to get it up, and now Mckenna Sullivan. They're going to say she's onside. Sullivan on the right-hand side here, looking for a cross attempt. She'll fire a low one. A shot attempt here for UNLV. It's in front of the net, and Katz is able to save it. Looked like the ball off of the hit just spun backwards, and UNLV did not have a player there for the rebound. Now Air Force quickly will switch the field here. They kick it on over to Sevilla. Sevilla will kick it back on over to the left-hand side, trying to look for Almendares. Samantha Bailey picks it up. And Bailey will give it on over to DeCunzo, and Josie will fire a quick pass, but it's quickly sent back over to Nelson. Nelson back over to Milford. Will boot one high and long on over to Emberly Sevilla. Sevilla will put it up, and Lourdes Bosch trying to fight for it. In the 80th minute here at Peter Dram Memorial Stadium between UNLV and Air Force, and the Rebels and the Falcons are tied up at 1 here. As that's going to go out of play. It'll be a free kick here for UNLV. Substitutions for the Falcons. Osoba will check on in for Mahowald, sorry.
Kylian Osoba back in the ballgame.
Sevilla will fire this one up. Almendares has possession. She'll clear it. Over on the defensive side, Mckenna Sullivan trying to fight for it. And she is spun away by Stavig. So UNLV scored their goal at the 41st minute, Lourdes Bosch. In the 21st minute, Air Force scored their lone goal by Emma Nelson. And now here comes UNLV. Rebels looking for the cross attempt here, but the defense for the Falcons denies them, and they quickly will try to switch the fields here. Almendares trying to fight for it, and she's got a piece of it. Lourdes Bosch trying to race it around, and now the Falcons will switch the field here. They get it to the middle of the field. Romero, and now some separation here for the Falcons. They shot attempt, but Sevilla is able to turtle it down in the box. Probably the best attempt for Air Force here in the second half. Well, it does not work, and if you see the smoke on your screen, that is from the barbecue that the men's soccer team The men's soccer team has a really good tailgate area that and real passionate fans, and they have a nice little barbecue pit going. So that's how you have all the smoke right now, as we're less than 10 minutes to go here at Peter Dram Memorial Stadium. Noguez goes down. Samantha Bailey comes up with it. Bailey makes a drive past the midfield line, and now the Rebels got some room here. They'll fire this one up high in the air. Marcella Brooks trying to fight for it. Just went over her head, and it's going to be last touch by Air Force, as Katie Ballou will check in at the next whistle for UNLV. And Natalia Gutierrez will check in for Air Force as well. And also Robin Pollard, she's getting ready to check in as well. And now the Falcons quickly switch the field here. They've got some space on the right-hand side. Air Force trying to get their second goal of the game. They fire one off the crossbar and out of play. I think Sevilla might have got her hand on it as well, and that was... And it's going to be a corner kick here for Air Force. So Sevilla did get her hand on it before it touched the crossbar. So great job there by the sophomore. The corner opportunity here for Air Force, as they are trying to get a game-winning goal here with less than 6 minutes to go, as this one's put up in the box. It's free. UNLV has it, and the Rebels have a chance to clear it out, and they do. Not well enough. Here come the Falcons. They've got some separation and some space, but the shot attempt will bounce harmlessly over to Emberly Sevilla. That shot by Jillian Jamero, the junior from California. And Josie will try to fire a lead pass. to Mckenna Sullivan, and I believe Sullivan was offside, and she is.
Offsides, UNLV.
Third offsides for UNLV. 11 shots now for the Falcons. 6 of them have been on goal. 15 shots for the Rebels. 7 of them have been on goal. And now Air Force back on the attack here. They've been picking it up in the last couple minutes. Bailey's able to knock it away. Noguez able to get possession. And she'll switch it over to the right-hand side for Tecunzo. And Josie will fire this lead pass. UNLV's got some numbers here. Lourdes Bosch, she's in front of the net. Bosch with an opportunity, rebound in front, and Katz is able to knock it away. Bosch with a great opportunity, but Katz has been fantastic in this second half, denying every opportunity here for UNLV. The Rebels are able to intercept the pass by Markham. Marcella Brooks, she'll try to fire it on over, but it's fire a lead pass over to Bosch, but it is too far out of play. Katz comes up with it. And Katz will punt it half or about a couple feet in front of the midfield line. Falcons trying to gain possession. They kick it back over now on over to Nelson. Nelson to the middle of the field, nobody there. Almendares will clear it back out. She had Sevilla coming in. And here comes UNLV with a little bit of space here. Noguez at the midfield line. Back over. And some miscommunication there between for UNLV as Katz will have it. She'll boom it away, and then UNLV punches it back up in the air. Brooks. She had it the first time, didn't know where it was. Now is able to gain possession. Here comes Bosch. Couple players down. Here comes Lourdes Bosch on the right-hand side. She's on a 3-on-1 disadvantage, but is able to get the corner opportunity as she knocks either the shot or pass, however you want to describe it, off of a Falcon defender. UNLV, they've scored 1 goal so far off of a corner opportunity. Approaching the 87th minute here at Peter Johann Memorial Stadium. UNLV will have Michaela Morris also checking in at the next whistle, along with Pollard and Katie Ballou. They've been waiting for a couple minutes now. This ball's up high in the air. The UNLV looking for the header. They can't get it, but they can gain possession near the backside. Almendares back left. Almendares try to fire one in. Still up high in the air, and I believe we got a foul call. Offside, sorry, on UNLV. Falcons, they'll have 2 players coming in at the next whistle as this one is booted by Katz. UNLV will head it. Try to switch the fields and get back on the offensive attack here. 16 shots for the Rebels. As we mentioned, 7 shots on goal, and we're going to get a foul on UNLV. Two minutes left here in regulation. 1-1 tie between UNLV and Air Force. Well, if we go to overtime, UNLV will have some fresh legs with Morris, Ballou, and Pollard coming in. And one goes out of play, and finally the subs will come in. So Katie Ballou, Robin Pollard, and Michaela Morris are in. Gutierrez is in. So is Bezdek for the Falcons. Nelson will come out. Noguez will check out for UNLV. Alyssa Casso will check out for UNLV. And the last one for the Rebels coming off the field will be Mckenna Sullivan. Minute 10 remaining here in the second half. Can UNLV get an opportunity? They got the ball deep in Air Force territory. It's kicked back out to Almendares. She'll fire it to the midfield. Air Force gains possession, and they will try to get a last-second effort here offensively as they fire a lead pass. And a turnover here in the box. A shot attempt, and it goes over the crossbar. It was last touched by Air Force as Bailey was trying to fight for it. She lost the ball, or lost possession in the box, and the shot attempt went over the crossbar. Dangerous opportunity. You know, he can breathe a big sigh of release as Almendares will try to fire one over to Michaela Morris, but it's headed away. Pollard has it. Pollard over here on the left-hand side. UNLV looking for the cross. Rebels will put it up. It's a low cross, but it's going to be defended. Now Pollard has it. UNLV player goes down. Pollard boots it, but is deflected. 8 seconds remaining.
6, 5, 4, 3.
Almendares will fire a desperation shot, and Cats has it. And that will be the end of regulation here at Peter Johann Memorial Stadium. Scoreless in the second half. UNLV and Air Force, we will be going to overtime. 1-1 is the score. Rebels had some great opportunities, so did the Falcons, but give credit to the goalkeepers, Danielle Katz and Emberly Sevilla for UNLV. They have been fantastic. So coming up next will be overtime here from Las Vegas, Nevada. Overtime here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Wyatt Tomczyk on the call. Thank you for joining us. Mountain West matchup between UNLV and Air Force. After the Falcons and Rebels scored a goal apiece in the first half, 21st minute for Emma Nelson, 41st minute for Lourdes Bosch. We had a scoreless second, and we're in overtime. UNLV, their second overtime game of the year. First one started conference play against Utah State. It was a double overtime loss for the Rebels and a heartbreak. They had to play a man down or player down for a good portion of the second half and overtime for the Falcons. They will try to come away with a victory here as they are 1-1-1 in overtime games this year. They beat North Florida 3-2 in overtime, lost to St. Francis 3-2 in double overtime, and then tie Jacksonville 0-0 after 2 overtimes. UNLV, if they can get a tie here, they will at least get a point. They haven't had a point so far this year, as we're going to get a stoppage of play and a whistle. 10-minute overtime periods. Golden goal rule. Whoever scores first, ball game is over. Lourdes Bosch, she has been so effective for UNLV coming off the bench. She quickly fires it in to Michaela Morris. Back over to Bosch. UNLV has Morris, Pollard, and Ballou, who checked in with about a minute left, so they've got some fresh legs. UNLV back over to Pollard. Pollard on a 2-on-1 disadvantage. And she tries to attack on the left-hand side. And that's going to be last touched by Air Force. Or last touch, sorry, by UNLV. Throw in Air Force. Kimberly Sevilla and Danielle Katz have been fantastic on both sides, and we're going to get a whistle. And now UNLV will have a free kick here as a foul is called on Air Force. And the Falcons thought they can land up a two-man wall there, but unfortunately the referee saw them, and now we'll have to head back out. This one's going to be put up in the box, high up in the air. Almedera's trying to fight for it. She gains possession momentarily. Lourdes Bosch trying to fight for it. She has it. Bosch with the spin around. The 360. Bosch in the box, but loses it too far out in front of her, and Air Force is able to clear it out momentarily. There's Romero. She's been quiet in this game. The leading goal scorer for the Falcons. She's looking for somebody to get open. Kicks it back on over. And here on the right-hand side, Almedera's trying to fight for it. Crossing opportunity here for the Falcons. Almedera's will kick it out of play. Player goes down. Both players go down as Almedera's with a hard tackle, and it's going to be either a corner opportunity or a throw-in deep in UNLV territory. Ball's thrown up high in the air. UNLV is able to head it. Goes right to an Air Force attacker. Shot attempt here. Sevilla went diving for it, but it was blocked by UNLV. They fire it to the midfield line for Michaela Morris, who goes down. Marcella Brooks will switch the field on the right-hand side. No foul was called when Morris went down. Referee tells him to play on. Samantha Bailey is able to make some contact and stop the attack momentarily. And Emily Sevilla will come down with it. And she will have the throw in here. About 3 minutes and 30 seconds into overtime number 1 here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And a hard tackle. Ballou goes down. But it is a clean one. And here come the Falcons. They'll send a low pass into the box. It's hit a couple times, but not hard enough. Had some potential there, but Sevilla stops the attack yet again, and will send a long throw over to Josie DeCunzo on the right-hand side as she's looking for Michaela Morris on the long pass. Now the Falcons will switch the field here. Asoba back over to Faith Lee. Lee has Pollard on her. Lee gets by. Almederis is trying to back up Pollard. Lee Now looking for the cross attempt, sends a low one into the box. Opportunity in front of the net, but not a good feel. Another shot attempt here is blocked by UNLV, and the Rebels will clear it out. Here comes Michaela Morris trying to fight for it, but she's on a 2-on-1 disadvantage. The Falcons will kick it back on over to Cats, and this ball, will it go out of play? Oh, Marcella Brooks just tackles a player hard into the sideline here in a hard contact. I believe it's going to be a yellow card. It is for Marcella Brooks, her first of the game, as that was a hard tackle. As you got like this Nike soccer sign. You can't see from the video board. As she was like this Nike soccer sign, and she crashed in and then crashed in on a hard surface. That is Asoba. And she took a hard fall, and Marcella Brooks is lucky that that wasn't a red card. Brooks really kind of put her body into it, and I didn't see the substitution coming in. And Mckenna Sullivan will check in for Brooks, and that will probably end her night with the yellow card. Head coach Chris Shaw doesn't want to chance it, getting another yellow card and potentially being a player down. UNLV had that problem in the second overtime. That was a hard contact for Osoba. Hit this Nike soccer like cardboard sign. It's right at the midfield line and then just hit the turf hard. It was a nasty fall. Hopefully she's okay. And out of play. Last touch by UNLV. That one goes in front of the box, but Emberly Sevilla will clamp it down. So both teams have had one yellow card in this ball game for UNLV, just their 5th so far this year. And this one's going to go out of the touchline, throw in here for the Falcons. Ariana Reyes will check in for the Rebels at the next whistle. Sullivan trying to go 2-on-1 against a couple Falcon defenders and can't keep it in play. Here comes Romero. She gets by Bailey. Romero's got a free run. She's got it in front of the net. A shot attempt, and it goes. Air Force wins it in overtime. Another heartbreaking defeat for UNLV as the Falcons rush the field.
96, I would say exactly.
Lexi Romero. Gets the goal for Romero, number 10. She was quiet the entire game, and she's able to get it when it counts. Unbelievable. A great lead pass as the Rebels. Mckenna Sullivan was trying to fight for it, the lead pass. Romero was onside when the pass was booted up in the air. She got by Samantha Bailey and was able to switch the field to the middle and fired a beautiful shot, and that will end it here from Peter Johann Memorial Stadium. Heartbreaking defeat for the Rebels as they have just been playing so well in this Mountain West Conference season, but just have not been able to get the results. They've been so close yet again. Another one goal defeat. That is their 3rd of the conference season. They drop it 2-1, and the Rebels fall to 3-10 on the year, 0-5 in conference play, while the Falcons, their win, they improved to 8-3-1, 3-2 in conference play. Lexi Romero with the game-winning goal, her 10th of the year, gives Air Force a 2-1 win. We thank everyone for joining us here on the YouTube channel on UNLV Athletics for UNLV versus Air Force. We appreciate you guys tuning in and wish everyone a good night. And if you're getting ready to tune in or want to watch UNLV Rebels Soccer, that will be on the WAC Digital Network. Scheduled time is 7:30. We wish everyone a good night, and we'll see you on Sunday.